Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of DB Cars, and in today's episode I'll be showing you guys Tribecar Volkswagen Golf. So let's dive straight to this video right now. Alright then, so here is guys the Volkswagen Golf from Tribecar itself. So before I dive straight to showing you guys the damages for this vehicle, let me just also as well as trunk as well as the interior, let me just run through you guys the damages for this vehicle itself and also this vehicle in general itself. So basically this is the 7th generation Volkswagen Golf pre-facelift from Tribecar itself. So basically this model itself ran from 2012 all the way to 2019 before it is being replaced with the 8th generation Volkswagen, the 8th generation Golf itself. So basically on if you guys are a big fan of Golf, I think definitely this would be one vehicle that you definitely need to try out in the Tribecar fleet. At the moment, there's only 2 in the fleet, so it's basically same as the Audi A3. At the point of filming, I think there's only 1 left. I don't know what happened to the one that I reviewed, but at the moment, there's only 2 Golf and 1 Audi A3 left. But going back on the topic of the Golf itself, this is how it looks like. So luckily, there's no front end damage, which I can see for like any scratch from what I observed, other than maybe some the rim being dirty from its usage itself, but and also maybe some curve of the rim itself. It's basically the same for all 4 sides of the vehicle. This looks like just some dirt on the vehicle, as well as if anyone wondering where is the fuel door for the Golf, it's basically on the right hand side. Even though on the dash they don't indicate where is it at, let me just show you guys that. Oh yeah, and also another thing to take note is, I didn't notice before that, but the doors for the Golf are quite heavy itself, so definitely got to pull it with your strength itself. But if you see on the, yeah, as you guys can see, there's a few needle right there telling you guys where the fuel door is located. So unfortunately for me just now, I couldn't see the needle, so there was some oopsie at the gas station where I went to the wrong side of the fuel pump itself. But other than that, that's basically it for the fuel door itself. And if you're wondering how to open up, you just press on it and you're able to access it just like that itself. So yeah, moving on to the rear, there's no obvious damage other than this minor scrape, which is, I think maybe they didn't really I don't know, maybe something, I think they didn't judge it properly when they are reversing. Unfortunately, it suffers some scrape scratches on the rear bumper, as well as the tail light suffers some minor damages as well itself. So yeah, and that passenger side, same thing, no obvious damage which I can observe, other than maybe missing a wheel cap right there itself. So yeah, my overall vehicle wise is still quite decent, I would say, with close to 200,000 kilometers on its belt at this time of filming. So yeah, and that, let me just run through you guys the trunk space for the vehicle right now. So basically, to access the trunk space for the Golf itself, it's very simple, and I think it's the same as the Sedan Leon from Chariot itself. Basically, to access it, just push on the Volkswagen emblem, push it inwards and pull it, and you're able to access the trunk space itself. So once you get the trunk space, this is how it looks like. So I'll probably put on screen right now how much trunk space this 7th generation Golf has itself. So other than that, you do get some very nice floor lining on top of it to cover up the carpet that's right down below here. But if let's say you want to access, if you want to have even more space by right, you could actually lower the partial shelf, which I think would be a hassle. But before I show you guys that, if you want to have even more space in the vehicle, you can actually fold down the rear seat via pushing this button right here. Push on that and the seat should drop. And same goes for the other side, which is just pressing on this button right here and just push on it itself. So yeah, so once that's down, I'm able to show you guys how to have even more space in this vehicle itself. So push that forward, and as you guys can see, there's a flat flooring, because at the moment the partial shelf is at the highest position, so you're able to load stuff through without any issue at all. But if let's say you were to remove that and you want even more space, you could by right pull this and lower the seat, lower this down, and you have even more space, provided you remove the partial shelf, which is right down below there itself. But if I'm guessing from what it looked like here, the partial shelf right down below there, it previously was able to hook it to this point on either side, but unfortunately this side's already been broken, so hence maybe that explains why that is there itself. So yeah, let me just, but yeah, I think that's basically it for the vehicle itself. Unfortunately, I think for this Golf itself, you're not able to have even more space in the vehicle as the partial itself is broken, so hence I think that's why they hide it right down below there itself. So yeah, other than that, let me just put the seat back up and I'll touch you guys back in the rear seat of the car itself. So yeah, to close the trunk is very simple. Unfortunately, there's no latch it right there, but they did tell you how you can close it via just holding in on the inner side and just pulling it down on that and just shutting it, and it's closed already itself. So yeah, I'll just catch you guys in the inside of the Golf itself. Alright, then now let's jump straight into the rear of the Golf itself. So basically this is how it looks like once you in the vehicle itself. So basically I greeted with a very, I want to say first impression wise, if you're able to adjust the seat according to maybe if let's say the front person is not that tall, I think by right you should have a comfortable amount of legroom space wise in the rear itself. Because in my opinion, I think that previously I've never sat inside a Golf, so I have no idea how it feels like. But after today, actually I would say it's not that bad either. So yeah, but what are the amenities that you're greeted with in the rear itself? You get some decent size storage space right here to put your stuff, which is look like being padded as well, which is quite good. You got window switches right here, doorways handle to get out of the vehicle, as well as inside you do get a storage pocket right here to put your stuff. Same goes for behind the driver, as well as you get a very nice AC vent right here for yourself. If let's say you're feeling hot in the rear of the car, you're able to get some AC in the rear as well. Unfortunately, there's no center storage compartment to put your stuff, which is a downside, as well as it also doesn't have center armrest, which you're able to, let's say if you want to rest your arm on, there isn't this function at all. So there's a downside to it itself. But overall I think not too bad. You do get lighting right here which turn on when the doors are open. So at the moment the doors are open, hence the light are on itself. But if you are technically, if I were to close the door, just give it a few moments for the light to turn off itself, you're able actually to turn on the lights on either side itself. If not, the driver could actually do that via the front buttons, which is right there itself. So basically you can see there's a function for the rear lights which he can be, sorry, which they could turn on actually, which is quite cool itself. So just give it a few moments for it to turn off. But let me just show you guys how it feels like to see in the rear itself. Well, I got almost about fist of legroom space in the rear. Headroom space also not too bad, I think about a fist and quarter headroom space, not bad. But yeah, overall I think not too bad in the rear itself for the Golf itself. So yeah, okay, the lights are now turned off. So basically you can just turn on either side or turn off on either side according to the rear passenger preference itself. So yeah, unfortunately I think sitting in the center won't be the best of comfort, because as you guys can see the transmission tunnel is quite high, plus also there isn't much of a gapping in between the two seats itself, so it's definitely will be very squeezy itself. But for the sake of it, I'll show you guys the demonstration itself. So sitting in the center itself is not too bad, but only problem is you got to get over this transmission tunnel, which is one small issue itself. So yeah, definitely not the best either. Plus also sitting in the center itself, what am I greeted with? Well, you get about 3 finger of legroom space size for the left hand side, and about, because this is based on my driving position wise, so it's about 4 fingers itself, or almost about a fist of legroom space wise itself. So yeah, and that is basically it. Oh yeah, headroom space wise almost about the same as well, but the only problem is you're quite close to the roof itself, so there's a downside itself. So yeah, other than that I think that's basically it for that's basically it for the rear of the Golf itself. So if anyone wondering, this is how the dashboard, the 7th generation Golf looks like. So basically with a small entertainment screen, which I'll touch on that later itself. But let's just move on to the next topic right now, which is the front of the car. So stepping right out of the car is a big issue, which I'm able to get out without any problem at all. So yeah, so stepping right into the vehicle itself. Guys, let's see. Oh, alright. So let's talk about the front of the vehicle itself. So basically, this is how it looks like for the Golf itself. So starting out with the storage space right here, you got one decently sized storage space right here, which I'm able to put my bag inside if I want to, which is a good thing. Plus also I don't think there's an instructor manual or anything inside. Oh yeah, the driver's manual is right here if anyone's wondering. So yeah, but other than that, not much stuff inside. So yeah, moving on, you got this very nice hidden glove box right here, which can be closed open. If let's say you want to hide something, you're able to hide it right here itself, which is quite cool. Moving along, you got this weird, I don't think this is even a storage space itself. You got two cup holders right here to put your stuff. You got another one right here, which is an okay size. I think you can just throw your wallet in or whatever if you want to. So I could technically throw my phone in and just able to hide it itself. And yes, this is a 16 Pro Max itself, so it's able to put a 6.5-inch phone inside plus a wallet inside as well. So there's quite a good size glove box right here itself. So yeah, moving along right now, back to this part right here, you got two cup holders like what I mentioned earlier on already. You got a 12-volt socket outlet right here. You got your auto brake hold function as well as your electronic handbrake itself, and that's basically it. So yeah, moving on top to the gear selector area, you just set your respective gear and you're able to shift this time to sports mode if you want to by shifting the lever to the left hand side, and you're able to shift with the gear selector right here. If not, that is just your regular normal drive mode itself. So yeah, and there's also your auto stop start function, which you can be turned on if you, let's say, you do not want it to be turned on. So yeah, moving on top, your respective AC vents, which I think if you have seen my videos already, this would be quite similar to, I want to say, the Seat Leon, that vehicle from Chariot, and maybe the Volkswagen Touareg from get-go itself. So yeah, basically they share almost, technically if it's a Volkswagen, usually they will most likely share the same part itself. But on the left hand side, you got the temperature control, center you got a fan speed control, and on the right is your various adjustment for the AC, how you want the fan AC to be blowing at you itself. Moving along, you just got your turn on of your function of your AC, your rear defrost, I would say, your recirculating air in the cabin, and basically just turn off your AC itself. So yeah, moving along, you guys got your infotainment itself, which is just, I think at that 2012, I would say it's, I don't know, I think it's the infotainment is just too small itself. If this was a personal car, I think someone would definitely have modified the infotainment to make it slightly bigger itself. So yeah, but on either side, you just got your volume control switch, as well as to turn on and turn off the infotainment itself. You got your frequency tuner on this side to adjust the radio or whatever thing you want to adjust on the screen itself. Various shortcut keys on the left and right hand side to basically go to the various settings of the infotainment. Probably I'll show just a brief function of it later on when I turn on the car itself. So yeah, and right at the top is just your hazard light switch itself. So that's basically it itself. So moving on to the next part, which is the stocks on either side. So basically on the left hand side, you got your indicator stock, which is basically left or right at the top. High beam just need to push forward, and deactivate just push back again one time itself. So that's basically it itself. To flash your high beam, just need to pull back and you flash your high beam itself. So yeah, on the other side right now is your wipers control switch, or your stock, whatever you call it. So basically for the highest setting, just go all the way up or all the way down, and one time down for one side, the wipers. And you can adjust the frequency via this knob right here itself. So yeah, and for the rear wiper is this, I think the rear wiper is this. Then for the trip function for the screen right here is via this button on the outside of the stock itself. So yeah, and also if you're wondering, if you notice also, this is also another part that is from the Seat, no, not Seat, Skoda Octavia Hybrid. They share the same stock as well. So it's basically, like what I mentioned already, it's just there's some part sharing throughout Volkswagen, Seat and Skoda itself. So it's not a big surprise for me itself. So yeah, Moving along, you just got your this button right here to basically to reset your trip meter. So basically, if let's say you want to know how far you want to go from start to the end of your trip, you can just press this and reset the trip meter, which I'll show you later on as well itself. So yeah, let's move on to the next part, which is here itself. So basically, right here itself, you got your light switch control, which is at the moment you can set it. You can technically turn on by itself. If not, you can just leave it to the auto headlight, which will turn on and turn off automatically according to the environment itself. So yeah. On the left hand side, you just got various headlight dimming angle. So basically, the highest it will just dip the main headlight itself, and you can just basically set it according to your preference itself. So yeah, there's basically 3 different settings itself. All right, moving on, you got your various window switches. Your various window switches right here, and it prevents people from rolling on the windows itself. Right here on the driver's side only, you get your lock and unlock function, as well as the adjusting tool to adjust the mirrors itself on the left, on the right or left hand side itself. So yeah, and that's basically it for that. And you're also able to fold the mirrors in by just doing these switches all the way down, or the other way for the hitting of the mirrors itself. So yeah. Alright, moving on, next up, you got your sun visor right here with a very nice mirror which turn on when the lights the mirror is shown. If not, it will just turn off itself. This also can be added as a visor which to block the sun coming from this side as well itself. So yeah, and it's basically the same for the passenger side itself with the mirror and to turn on the lights, as well as this also could be a sun visor which to cover the left hand side itself. So yeah, and that is basically it for this sun visor. Next up, you got your, I would say this is where you can see your sunglasses, but from looks of it, not able to do so itself. But you got various light control switches to on and off either side. If not, this could be basically this right here to turn off the light when the doors are open itself. And going back on the function which I mentioned, where you can turn on the lights from the front. Basically, if I were to do this, you can see the rear lights are on. If I do that, it's off itself. So that's quite cool itself. So yeah, there seems to be no button to open this, so I won't touch it itself. So yeah, last but not least, you just got I think there's a non-storage space right here to put your stuff if you want to itself. But yeah, I think that's basically it for this car wise itself. So yeah, oh yeah, last but not least, to adjust the wheel and the seat itself. Basically, to adjust the wheel on this vehicle itself, just need to pull on this lever right here, and you're able to adjust according to your preference. Once at its desired position, just lock it in and just lock the steering wheel in itself. So yeah, to adjust the seat itself, same as the other, I think mainly for as mentioned, for my based on my previous experience trying out Volkswagen, Skoda and Seat, basically an Audi itself, the adjusting tool is right here on the left hand side for the driver, and the right hand side for the passenger itself, which you can see by this lever right down below here itself. So yeah, and that if you want to adjust the height, you can do so by this lever right here, and the seat is right here itself. So yeah, that's basically it itself. Alright, now let me just show you guys the key before I end off my video, and also show you guys the various part of the screen itself. So basically, this is how the key looks like. It seems like the Audi key in the early 2000s, where it has this function where you press on this and you press on this, the key will just swerve out itself, wherever. But on the key itself, you just get your lock unlock function, as well as the trunk button. If let's say you're on the outside, you're able to access the trunk via the key itself. Unfortunately, this car doesn't really has keyless entry at that time, so that's not really a feature itself that this car has itself. But to start up the car is just basically key insert all the way in from the brake, and just let the electronic prime up a few moments. So yeah, once ready, just twist it and the car will just start up. So basically, this is how it looks like when it's primed up. Alright, let me just show you guys this first. So basically, you got various shortcut keys for the infotainment itself. Mostly it's a very small screen itself, so I can't really see much itself. But if let's say I go to car, you're able on this, the audio, go to car, you're able to see Unfortunately, also it's not touchscreen itself, so you can't really see anything itself. So yeah, you can go to setup and just swivel this. You're able to see some of the things itself lah. So and select it for the press on this for the OK button. If not, there's not really much to show you guys about this itself. So yeah. Alright, now let me just show you guys this screen right here itself. So basically, to cycle through that function itself, you just need to click on this button right here, and you're able to cycle through the various function of this vehicle itself. Outside temperature, fuel consumption, and the range to empty itself. So yeah. Alright, so this is what I mentioned about this earlier on in the video itself. So basically, if you want to reset the trip odometer, which I have at the moment is 15, I can just press on this and we'll just reset it back to 0 itself. Unfortunately, there's no really trip A or trip B function in this vehicle itself. So yeah, if you want to reset your trip or judge on based on how far you go, you can just press this and we'll just reset the trip meter itself. So yeah. Other than that, that is basically it for this vehicle itself. If you guys enjoyed the video itself, do click on the subscribe button down right below to see more videos like this, or click subscribe and click see my 2 other videos. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.